Hello again, YouTube. It's Tempest. Welcome to episode 2 of my Fabled quest. This deck is still very new to me. Um, with this update, I tried to take it kind of a similar way with my X Sabers, where I'm putting the focus more on the extra deck than anything else. So with that in mind, I'm gonna go through the deck. And then I'll go through a couple things at the end, a couple combos, and just card choices and whatnot. Yeah, it's kind of a hard deck to play the way it is because it's got a lot of monsters in it. So there's not a lot of things you can do. And basically, I looked at it two ways. I can either go all in with like a whole bunch of like draw power cards and whatnot, or I can go like control kind of and give me actually kind of have a chance to the rest of the meta. So me with that in mind, and me being the kind of anti-meta player I am, chose to go with the sort of fight the meta kind of approach. So I'll just get to the deck and you'll probably see what I'm talking about as I go on. So I got 3 Grimro, it's your searcher. You control a Fabled, discard it, and add 1 to your hand. There's lots of plays you can do with that, but it's just your searcher, you need to play at 3. 2 Kushano, it's a fiend, it's a tour guide target. I hated playing the 1 Kushano, 1 Knight Assailant. This guy's way good at 2. Yeah. Now tour guide plays is one of my favorite plays to make with this guy because I do have a great boss monster here that I'll go to in a minute. 2 crews, bump crews up to 2. You need them a lot more in this deck than I actually anticipated, and I really like having her at 2. Normally when I discard crews, I go for the Grimro because it makes making the level 8 synchros a lot easier. So yeah, crews is good at 2. For the beast monsters, we got 3 Chawas, and then we've got 1 Nazuche, and 1 the Tricky, and then 3 Cerberil, 2 Ganashia, 1 Lurie, and 1 Knight Assailant. Or not 1 Knight Assailant, Snipe Hunter. Alright, so with this lineup, what I did was I tried to balance card effects. So Chawa and lets you discard a card to special summon him, and he's a level 1 tuner. Tricky and Nazuche both let you discard 1 to special summon them. He's a level 5 normal, he's a level 2 normal, and when he special summons, he lets you special summon another Fabled monster from your hand. So, and then Snipe Hunter is a generic level 4, but what you do is you discard a card and then you destroy a card on the field with a die roll. So he's just basically does the same thing. So he's a non-tuner that discards 1. And then so I'm playing 3 Chawa, and then I'm playing 3 Cerberil, whose effect is discard. When he's discarded, you special summon him, and 3 2 Ganashia, 1 Lurie. Both their effects are the same when I discard, special summon them. So what I'm kind of doing here is balancing the number of tuners and non-tuners here to kind of get my synchro plays together. Cruise is another card that you discard and 1 and special summon graveyard. So it's usually used to get Grimro, and it helps you get your synchro plays to go off faster. And you really need level 8 synchros in this deck because again they're most important to fighting the meta. So yeah, just this kind of balance is what works for me, and yeah, and I think as the testing goes on, I'll probably refine this a little bit more, but I think the balance is just good. And last of the monsters, we got a little bit of monster support. We got 2 tour guide. Obviously, you use this to get your Kushanos out and start your Fabled in. 1 morphing jar for the discarding cards and drawing 5 cards. It's really good. It's kind of techable. You can take it out against dragons and some other decks. Yeah. And then last, we got some boss monsters and monster hand trap monster support. BLS is the main boss monster of the deck. Just banish 2, summon it. Could be stick against a whole bunch of decks. I was playing Chaos Sorcerer in here, but I decided it wasn't fast enough for the deck since Chaos Sorcerer banishes 2, but he can't attack. I guess BLS can't take it, but at least it's a beater. Chaos Sorcerer's not much of a beater anyway, so I took it out. In the all-in variant that I made, I am playing Chaos Sorcerer, but it's a little bit different. So next monster is Gores. In my X Saber deck, I'm playing Swift Scarecrow, um, and they basically do the same thing. If your opponent declares a direct attack, you discard Swift Scarecrow and the battle phase this guy. When you take direct damage, you can special summon him and another token. And the token's level 7, so you can use a token for synchroing. You can use Force for synchroing. Really helpful. And next to your probably obvious 2 Veiler, 2 Maxi. Just standard hand trap this format. You should probably main 2 of each at least, if not 3. At least 3 Maxi anyway. So yeah. Not much I can say about those really. It's a lot of monsters. I think it's 28 monsters. So yeah, 24 and then 4 hand traps. So yeah, kind of a lot, but you know, hey. Anyway, moving on to spells. Most of the spells are really simple. There's only 6 of them. We got your card destruction, lets you discard your entire hand, helps you swarm the field if you need to. Monster incarnation, discard 1, add 1 to your hand. Always a +1 in this deck. Not a +2 depending on what card you discard. Pot of Avarice. You need this card in every Fabled deck. You just need it. It lets you recycle your entire graveyard, and then it gives you +2. Mind Control. I'm really iffy about this card because most of the cards I would like to mind control with this deck, they're like dragons and stuff, and you can't really synchro much with them unless you have Effect Dealer. So I'm gonna test it. I think I'd rather play Magical Stone Excavation because there's a lot you can do with Magical Stone Excavation in this deck. You can get your Monster Incarnation back, you can get your Pot of Avarice, your Monster Reborn back. So yeah. And last we got Reborn and Heavy. Not playing Dark Hole in this deck. I probably could afford to, but I'm not playing my X Saber deck. So like I said, a lot of what I'm doing in this deck right now is I'm taking stuff from my X Saber deck and bringing it over here, and it's working very well so far. And then last is traps, and there's not much to it. Just 2 torrential, 2 compulse, judgment, and warning. So pretty simple standard trap lineup. Heavy, you know, spot removal, heavy, mass removal, and then of course the 2 negation cards. Alright, so the extra deck is pretty standard for Fables, I think, right now. I don't have Quasar, so it gives me a lot of extra space when we don't have to play Quasar. If I get Quasar, I'm obviously going to play it, but until I do, this is the extra deck. 1 Formula Synchron for that extra draw. So I'm 1 running Lurie in here. I could afford not to because I don't even have Quasar in here, but this card's just really good. 1 Unicorn, just a random tech. I really like Unicorn because the control it gives the deck, and it can negate basically everything that your opponent tries to do as long as you maintain hand size. And this deck is actually pretty good at doing that with discarding and adding things back to your hand. This card's a lot better to use in the what's it called? The all-in version, because you just throw everything out and then you just draw everything back with like Reckless Greed and stuff. But Unicorn is just good. I like it's level 4, so if you need to make a synchro before you make another synchro, like if you drop Chawa and Cerberol and Nozuchi together or something, and you have to make a synchro before you can go synchroing, probably do the level 4 synchro first, then you make the region play or the librarian play, whatever. We got 2 Raging, found that at 3. I was never really going to the 3rd one. 2 is really all I need. And if you can go up both of them at the same time, you're going to try to go on the librarian. So just 2. And then 1 Catastor. So I got 4 level 5s in there. I feel like Catastor is really necessary right now because of all things it can destroy. Yeah. My level 6 is Gaia Knight right now. I'm hoping Sirius the Blue Wolf Star comes out in the TCG soon. What Sirius does is he's a 24 beater, and when he's destroyed by battle, you can choose a monster your opponent controls, and it loses 24 attack till the end phase, or permanently. I don't remember exactly, but the point about Sirius is he's the only dark level 6, so you can make him and then synchro him away and get something else and then banish him some BLS. It's really nice, but I don't have him, so yeah, kind of nice. My level 7 is Black Rose. I'm not really needing this deck, but it's just good to have a level 7 to use. And level 8s are Scrap, Dragon, Crimson, and Puzzle Fighter. I've been over these before. You already know why I'm playing them. This guy's for Eradicator. This guy's for against dragons, and this guy's for popping random stuff. So all these cards are obvious. he's not as good anymore in this deck. I think I'd rather play Bird Dragon Archfiend in this deck, because it's a 3k beater lord, so there's only 28. So that's one change I would make with either or, they're both really good. Mistformed, generic level 9 synchro. I'd rather play Leviathan at this point. I think I don't have one, so just Mistform instead. And then I got 3 Xyz. I got the tempo, which is obvious because this deck needs synchro so much. You need to use it against evil swarms. Once that main is just for a wall, and then Leviair for bringing stuff back from when you use BLS, or if you're against a dragon opponent, you can get back the opponent's baby dragons because they're all level 4. Yeah, not much to that. Side deck, not much to it. It's the same as my X-Saber side deck right now. Dark Hole sided, 2 MSTs are sided, 3 Eradicator are sided, 2 Mind Crush to be draw and Lockbirds, obviously, if I had them, 2 Bottomless, Fiendish Chain, and then right now 3 Imperial Iron Wall. In my Fabled deck, I will be siding 3 Gozen Mac instead because I need to banish things in order to make this, like a BLS banishing or whatever. So Imperial Iron Wall isn't as good, but I would definitely play Gold to Gozen match because it doesn't really slow me down. And once your opponent throws the Drago Sack on the board, they can't make any other excuse plays. So yeah, definitely Gozen match instead. So that's my Fable deck right now. Thank you for watching, and please be sure to comment if you have suggestions or questions because I am still new to the deck. So and be sure to subscribe if you like the deck. Yeah, thanks for watching, and hope you fare well at your time.